Thank you for staying with us here on the program. We've been talking about the recommendations of the National Conference, which the President says he will implement. He says we should take him for his word. But what we are seeing with the amendment of the Nigerian Constitution seems to be there's some disparity between what the delegates wanted, almost 500 delegates, and what the National Assembly is saying seems not to be in sync. And that's why Chief Ayo Adebanjo has been talking to us on the program on shedding light on some of these issues. Before we went to break, I was asking you, the delegates made a very profound statement about local government autonomy, which is one of the major things that, and when we look at it, I can remember 1976 local government reform, which actually gave, put the local government as a third tier of government. But along the line, the local government has developed so much in Nigeria, changes over and over again. But what you recommended, the delegates recommended, is different from what the lawmakers are recommending.
Mr. I take very serious objection to your comparing our recommendation to the National Assembly.
Because when we think, just a moment, sir.
Not that far.
When we think that the National Assembly will be involved in the implementation of the recommendations.
My dear, that was not the condition of our being set up. We were set up to go and recommend things for what would be good for Nigeria, not for what the National Assembly is thinking.
So what do you make?
The National Assembly is part of this problem. We went there to solve. We won't expect the National Assembly to amend things that we think that is they are enjoying adversely against the interests of the people.
So what do you
I don't want to be compared at all.
So what do you make of what they are saying about local government autonomy?
It is not my concern. My concern is that the President sets up a committee, go and see what type of constitution we should have in this country that will make everybody happy, that we stop the violence here, violence there. 492 people now met. Distinguished Nigerians, qualified Nigerians, intelligent Nigerians came out with those recommendations. That is where I am. Don't forget, even this National Assembly, many of us have questions as to how many of them got there. How many of them get there on your mandate? You know that. So I don't want to talk about that.
What's the stand?
Give them alone.
What's the stand?
Discuss national confab recommendations vis-a-vis the implementation. As for the people in the National Assembly, they are the part of the problem that we are solving the confab.
You don't have any trust in what they are doing?
Not at all.
Why?
Don't forget, even before they started, those of us who are advocating convocation of national has objected to it, that was not what you are set up. We are consistent about it. And this national confab, we have been insisting on it even before Absalom Constitution. My own group, Afenifere group, we insisted that we are not going to take part in the election unless there is a convocation of national conference for a restructuring in Nigeria. It was Absalom who said, no, I haven't got time for that. When I give you your independence, you go your freedom, you go and do it. But those of us who see far knew it would not be so. But in order not to present people who don't represent the people to go to the assembly, we took part in that constitution. And I tell you, we made the question of convocation of national conference an election issue. It's in our manifesto. People should go back and to follow it up after the election. All the 5 states won by the by my own party, Alliance for Democracy. We were led by the leader of Afenifere then, the late Adesoya. To each House of Assembly, we passed a resolution where Tinubu was the governor then. He too was in the Assembly. We mandated every one of them to pass a resolution demanding national conference because it was one of the part of his manifesto that got them into office. That was what I was thinking about when the man said convocation national conference is a side issue or
it's a distraction.
It's a distraction. A distraction on the policy that we made to the people to vote for you. Go to the record. Every House of Assembly, Lagos, Ogun, Oyo, Oshu, and Anondo. It's on record. What I'm saying is on record.
All right.
All the leaders of Afenifere went there to ensure that our members in the assembly pass this resolution demanding national conference.
What's the stand of the confab on local government?
Then, of course, they should have their autonomy. They should have their autonomy. You see, in this country, we know what is our problem, but we are only gambling with it. Even in Great Britain, that has a unity form of government, their local government are autonomous. In fact, whenever there is a general election coming, they are always aware of where the local government, which party control which local government, to decide whether they win the national election. And when the results are being delivered, the moment they find that a local government controlled by Labour is won by Conservative, and they say there's going to be a change. Because they are different, because they all went on the mandate of the party that this is what we are going to do. They are different.
What about immunity? That's another major issue. What was the stand of the confab on immunity?
I confirm that the immunity should be removed.
Totally, from the executive, from the president to the governors.
Yes.
Why would
that was what give them the liberty to do whatever they like.
Why would the confab recommend such?
Why? Because give them the liberty to do whatever they like. They believe that nobody can touch them. They can still to the end. They will say until after we leave the government. That's when they will accuse us. And since many of them have left the government, how many of them have been questioned? That was what we wanted to prevent. That if that clause is there, they will beware. The moment they are accused of it, they will stand trial.
So a lot of Nigerians are looking into what is currently going on and talking about the recommendations. Of course, we know that it must pass through the National Assembly, but you're not even happy about the National Assembly at all.
Well, what I understand from the president is that whatever is to be done to make it subject to referendum will be done. Because our own view is that it is not subject to any amendment. It is only subject to the people who elected this National Assembly to say yes or no. Their case is that there is no provision for the referendum in the Constitution. And what we understand from the president that he will liaise with the National Assembly to amend the Constitution to make that provision for referendum. That's all. And if the National Assembly members are products of this society, and they see that what we have done is what the society wants, why should there be any problem with that? The country is not a private property of the National Assembly. The country is the property of everybody, all of us.
What is in contention now is that document, the legal document that binds us as a nation, that guides our judicial and even almost every part of our lives as a people. And that's what we wanted to fix. And that's what the delegates are there also to fix.
Yes.
But
because the one that is there now, don't forget
it's faulty.
It's not our constitution. That is what people have forgotten. It is the military constitution. And I remind you, before late William said, our constitution is a fraudulent document. When he was alive, I referred to it. And when he was, I said, why? He said, well, he said, the preamble say, we the people of Nigeria. And he asked the question, did we make the constitution? It was Absalom and Co. And then he said, we, the people of Nigeria, the Federal Republic, are we federal? So the document says nothing about the truth of the content.
If you would,
those are part of the thing we rectify the conference.
And what system of government do you recommend?
Of course, federal.
So what system of government would you describe that we are operating now?
Oh, it's unitary. It's one line government.
Even with the constituent units that we have.
What constituent units? What are they doing?
The states, they are constituent units.
All the power they are using, they shouldn't have it. That's what we have pulled down under the Constitution. That's what we have removed from the federal government.
You reduce the power of the center.
Consistent with the federal system. Take the question of police. I asked Kumasi at the conference, I said, have you heard of Inspector General of Police in America? Because that is the place where you will copy. Even in Great Britain, with a unique form of government, have you heard of Inspector General of Police? The highest police officer there is a local government police officer. Chief of Metropolitan Police. Why should we be different? And in one breath you say we are federal. When you say you must have federal for a provision, you say, there must be a Nigerian factor. I said there is no Nigerian factor under a federal constitution.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Chief Adebanjo. But just before we go, there was a statement attributed to former President Olusegun Obasanjo about a Muslim or a Christian ticket at this time as we move into... No, he actually came out to say that particular move is not right. What's your take on a Muslim or a Christian ticket?
Anybody talk of a Muslim ticket now is not sensitive about public opinion. It's the mood of the country, particularly with APC, where all their principal officers are Muslim. Take note of that. All their principal officers are Muslim. Now you want to have a president and a vice president Muslim. Are we in a Muslim state? Or why should people be so blind to what the public are demanding?
Should we bother about what religion anybody has?
We shouldn't bother, but this is the people who are making it.
Should we allow it to bother us when we talk about quality of the candidates who are running for office?
That is talking theory. There's what is called public perception. I can tell you people don't know. When the constitution started in Lagos, we had Jakonde as the Muslim governor, Jafojo as the Muslim governor. After Jakonde, we had Tinubu. After Tinubu, we had Fashola. There's no problem. But when people begin to make noise about it, and then people of Lagos now say, well, even between you and I, if you have 4 or 3 consecutive governors who are Muslims, is it too much for the Christians to say, Abba? Are there no Christians qualified to be a governor in this state? So it's not the question of whether we have been talking of quality before. We are only being realistic about the feelings of the common man.
A lot of people will easily cast their mind back to 1993.
Yes.
When Abiola had a Muslim government, when anybody didn't even look at that.
Exactly.
Just look at the character.
They are not the people to tell people like me about that. We have been implementing no Muslim problem as far back as 1952 when Awolowo was in government.
So you support Obasanjo standing against the Muslims?
At this time now, we must. You see, what we are talking of is about what the people are feeling. We must carry people along with us. When Awolowo became the premier of Western region, his secretary to the first secretary of the government was late Chief S.O.B. Obaku, the former vice chancellor. He's a Muslim. It was about Awolowo who appointed him.
Thank you so much, Chief Ayo Adebanjo, for talking to us and taking time to come and shed light on some of these issues. And we hope that the next time we talk to you, the comfort recommendations will be implemented. Thank you so much, sir. Yeah, we've been talking with another statesman, Chief Ayo Adebanjo, on the comfort recommendations vis-a-vis what is happening with the Constitution Amendment. I want to thank you so much also for being part of the program. I hope that we'll take one or so of your comments on the program. From Austin Iwudwa, it says that the confab simply acted a script. Why did they not touch the contentious issue of dissolution of power? The confab convocation is nothing more than one of the many committees of GEJ government. There will be no implementation. Well, Robosa Osayi, the political situations in Ekiti will affect human capital development because both the executive and legislature needs each other. Ahmed says, in as much as the Constitution amendments recommendations are subject to ratification by National Assembly, nothing worthwhile will come out of it. Well, that's
just don't support national government having anything to do with it.
Yeah.
It is the people.
Yeah.
Why should they say the people who elected them should not have a say in the Constitution?
Well, that's how far we can go. Until next time, my name is Shaw Kimbalo. On behalf of the team, thank you for joining us. Bye for now.